What's up, y'all? This is Czar. I want to give you an overview of the Waves SSL bundle, show you how I use it, and answer a few common questions about the bundle. So let's first talk about what it is. The Waves SSL bundle is an emulation of the SSL 4000 console. It comes with 4 plugins, comes with the bus compressor from the G series, comes with the G series EQ up at the top, and the left and right here you've got 2 channel strips. It comes with the E channel and the G channel, which is the E series console and the G series console. So let's go through them. The bus compressor, you've got your standard controls for a compressor. You got your threshold, attack, release, your makeup gain, your ratio, and this right knob here goes to the fade off. You can fade out your track or song with this bus compressor. So a pretty cool feature. The EQ, which is the EQ section taken from the G series, pretty straightforward. Filters, low frequency, low mid frequency, high mid frequency, your high frequency. Your EQ in, of course, switches the EQ into the path. The channel strips here, a lot of people tell me that it's confusing because of all the knobs and everything. Try to explain this and make it easier for you to understand this channel strip. So the channel strip, you've got your left side is all EQ. At the top here you got the filters, your high pass filter, low pass filter, high frequency, high mid frequency, low mid frequency, and then your low frequency. On the right side you've got the dynamic section. Your compressor section's at the top. The section here in green is your gate and expander, and below that you've got the fader. Now if you look at these lines here that are outlining each section, if you look at it that way, that helps group each section off. And as you can see, everything is pretty much color coded to go with that section. The G series is pretty much identical to the E series as far as how it's laid out. One of the common questions I was going to get into was what's the difference between the E and the G. The main difference is, well, they do sound different. Let's put that out there first. I like to think of it as the E for edge and the G for grit. The G series sounds, in my opinion, a little dirtier. The E channel sounds, it's more aggressive to me. That's why I call it edge. The difference between the two, besides the tone difference, is on the G series you have this low mid frequency divided by 3 button, which switches the low mid frequency here. It divides the frequency by 3. Now you would think that this button would go for the low frequency here because it's below it, but if you follow this line up, you'll see that it goes to the low mid frequency. So that divides that frequency by 3. In the high mid frequency, this button here multiplies that frequency by 3. So whoever told you there's no math in audio lied. This here will multiply that frequency by 3. This divides the frequency by 3. Another difference is on the low frequency is a shelf, the high frequency is a shelf. On the E channel you have a shelf on the low and the high. However, you've got a bell button which switches it from a shelf to a bell curve EQ. And with the G series it's just a shelf. You can't switch it to a bell. Those are the differences between the E and the G series. Besides that, the layout is identical. With the compressor section, you've got your ratio here, the release here. Now the attack, the fast attack is a 1 millisecond attack. Same with the G series. Fast attack, 1 millisecond attack. If it's not on fast attack, then it's program dependent, meaning that it automatically it's an auto attack. Think of it like a LA2A has an automatic attack setting. And you got your threshold. and the gate, expander, everything else on the channel is identical. A lot of people don't realize this, but you can switch the order around on the channels as far as the signal path, which is very useful. To show that, I'm going to switch over to the manual here. Now, as you can see, the routing can get pretty crazy, but we're going to stick to just these three basic here. So the default when you pull up the channel is the signal comes in, goes through the dynamic section, then to the filters, then to the EQ. The way I like to normally use it is the filters first, then the EQ, then the dynamic section. So with that, you've got the channel out and split plus channel out. Let me show you what that is. So here's the split button, and then here's your channel out here. So with it set the way I have it here, it's going to, as we go back to the diagram, signal's going to come in, it's going to hit my high pass filter first that I have set, then it's going to go through the EQ section, then it's going to go through the dynamic section, and then it's going to come out. So another thing I want to talk about is how I use the SSL bundle. And if you can see on this track here, I've put the SSL channel across every track in this session. Now, another common question I was going to get into, a lot of people like to ask, does the SSL bundle make your mix sound like it was mixed on an SSL analog console? In my opinion, that answer is no. If the bundle did make your mix sound like it was mixed on an SSL console, the bundle would cost a lot more than it does. You'd probably also see people trading in their SSL consoles for this bundle. Now, with that being said, what it will do for your mix is make it sound like you're using SSL EQ in an SSL dynamic section. It does model the channel strip, but with a SSL console, there's just characteristics and things that console is going to do that you're not going to be able to get in the plug-in. But if you don't have $400,000 for an SSL console, this bundle is a great way to get the SSL sound. So I'm gonna play a little bit of this track. This is an artist named Juggernaut from Nashville. This song is called Act Monkey, and as you see, I've got the SSL channel going across every track. And basically what I've done is I've mixed this as I was mixing on a console. My fader, EQ, compression, everything. Now, this doesn't work all the time for me, and if I can get away with it, then I definitely use it, because I'd prefer to do everything on one channel than have 5 or 6 plugins on one channel, a different EQ, compressor, and everything stacked up using more computer power. So we've got here, and I'm going to just really focus on the lead vocal, because that's one of the most important things in a mix all the time. You can see on the lead vocal here, I've got both channel strips. I've got the E series and the G series. They're both set the same, and we can A/B them here to show you the difference between them. And below that, I've got a R comp that I'm using, here we go, as a limiter for the signal. I'm just gonna play a little bit of the song, let you hear it, get an idea what it is here.
I act a monkey, about to act a monkey. Party so duck, I'm almost stuck in this one spot, jumping up and down like I'm trying to block a jump shot. Sipping on these drinks in rounds like gunshots. Bounce around with cup and hand, but never spilling one drop. Chug a beer, chug another, though I don't enjoy the taste. Crowd is...
Okay, so what we've got here on the E channel here, I've added a little bit of low frequency because the vocal sounds like it's kind of far away, so I gave it a little bit of low to make it sound a little closer here and beef it up a little bit. Also added some high end here, and as you can see, I've got a little bit of compression going. On other things like say for example, we've got the kick and the snare here, just to show you how I do the kick. Kick, I've got the gate going, snare as well. I'm going to play that part again just so you can see how these different channels are acting. So we've got the kick, snare, and the lead vocal.
I act a monkey, about to act a monkey. Party so duck, I'm almost stuck in this one spot, jumping up and down like I'm trying to block a jump shot. Sipping on these drinks in rounds like gunshots. Bounce around with cup and hand, but never spilling one drop. Chug a beer, chug another, though I don't enjoy the taste. Crowd is hype, is going down.
So, with the SSL channel on every track, like I said before, you can basically get the feel of mixing on a console because you have everything there in front of you. You don't have to go to separate plugins for that. Now, I'm going to take a look at the mix bus here. On the mix bus, I have the bus compressor as well as the EQ that I'm just basically using as a mix bus EQ. Really like this EQ for that, and let's take a look and see how that's working.
I act a monkey, about to act a monkey. Party so duck, I'm almost stuck in this one spot, jumping up and down like I'm trying to block a jump shot. Sipping on these drinks in rounds like gunshots. Bounce around with cup and hand, but never spilling one drop. Chug a beer, chug another, though I don't enjoy the taste. Crowd is hype, is going down just like a state's employment rate. Act a chill, we act gorilla, man, we act like crazy apes. Looking like some zoo animals when shaking down the gates. Gin and juice and gathers.
So there you can kind of see, took the compressor in and out, took the EQ in and out, show you what that's doing. I want to go back to the lead vocal and show you the difference between the E channel and the G channel here on the lead vocal. So I'm going to do, let's play a different part verse here. I'm going to bypass both of them so you can hear exactly what it's doing, and so you can hear the difference between the E channel and the G channel.
Now I'm drunk, man, I'm drunk, man, I'm getting off like interstates. Out here wildin' out, I'm going ham like Christmas dinner plates. Sampled on some Captain Morgan, so rock and some Tangeray. Buy some bottles and some ice and let my liquors figure skate. Bases poppin', ladies poppin', man, it was hell of a sight. But I couldn't stand her straight, so I lean like a deli slice. Finally get this lady number, but I couldn't text her right. Told her I would beat the puppy up if I could spend the night.
Now I'm gonna solo the vocal so you can hear that.
Now I'm crunk, man, I'm drunk, man, I'm getting off like interstates. Out here wildin' out, I'm going ham like Christmas dinner plates. Sampled on some Captain Morgan, so rockin' some Tangeray. Buy some bottles and some ice and let my liquors figure skate. Bass was poppin', ladies poppin', man, it was hell of a sight. But I couldn't stand her straight, so I lean like a deli slice. Finally got this lady number, but I couldn't text her right. Told her I would beat the puppy up if I could spend the night. She got offended because...
So, what I'm hearing between those two, I said the G series sounds a little dirtier to me. The E series it's got a little more clarity to me, and it also gives it that edge that I described before. So, you got any other questions, any comments? I say leave it in the video. But like I said before, Wave's SSL bundle is a great way to get the SSL sound. If you haven't mixed on an SSL console before, these channel strip layouts, if you learn these plugins, you'll be very familiar with an SSL console if you sit in front of one, because they are the exact same. The newer SSLs, the Duality, I've mixed on, and it's very similar to this. It's not exactly the same, but pretty much once you learn an SSL channel strip, you'll be able to run an SSL. Alright, see y'all next time, and thanks for watching.